Hello techies, I'm Divya here. On behalf of CyberBrainer, don't you think the world of tech is evolving faster than ever? Now is the perfect time to dive in and build the skills that will take you places. With CyberBrainer, we are putting you in the driver's seat of your own future. We at CyberBrainer don't just teach your interest. We believe that knowledge is power, but it's applied knowledge that truly sets you apart. Whether you're diving into data science, mastering artificial intelligence, or exploring the world of cybersecurity, our courses are designed to give you the skills that matter. So let's jump into the session and make the future yours today. Thank you.
These are the terms in recruiting. As I was explaining all those things, what is meant by prospect? What is meant by candidate? What is meant by employee? And what is meant by agency? As I said, job requisition. Let me go to the second slide. As I said, a job requisition is a request to search for and hire a resource. You are able to see this right. About the job, what is the location? See, this is a title position, titled. And you are able to see the job, minimum 5 to 8 years of experience in CPH or HCM functional consultant. And these are all the job description details that they were presented right. Alright. This is nothing but, job requisitions. We're gonna post, we're gonna create something job profiles. And we're gonna post all those things in our XML query set, which will be upcoming sessions. Not now, it will take a bit of time. But, however, we'll go step by step, that it makes a sequential way that it's easy for you guys to understand. In the job requisitions, the job details are like about the job 5 to 8 years of experience and what is the work location, what is the education, what they're looking for. And this is all the details it will come, all this job details in that it will be present. And I will explain you the work. The recruiting process I already explained. But, however, now I'll explain you clearly, a little more effectively, that will understand the things pretty much clearly. Work, the recruitment, how it starts, CV, ideally if I had to say, where we have to. Creation of job requisition is the step in this will sometimes, HCM consultant or recruitment people, they will create this. They will create this job requisition because we have to position. We have to create a position as well in this. Once we create job requisitions, we are going to post that in the internal or external career site. See, internal and external career sites means, as you see, external means when you go and apply for the jobs career sites, it will be present, right? A lot of companies that they do have their external character. They would have designed everything. There we're gonna apply and default. It will come to this review stage, that's candidate job application, which will fall in the review stage. When it comes to internal, what happens? We can post it in internal also. Our company internal. For that again, there is a task called find jobs. We have to put that task and we need to go and, apply for the job. I'll explain you a little more detail. Just some more explaining each and every. If you give agencies also the job posting which we are going to do, it will go to agencies, also their agencies. There will be some few people. They were working right agencies there. They can share profiles to a particular company. For example, you're working for some KPMG, you're sharing for some circumstances like, let's say, some Primus Global or something. I'm telling including agency. I'm telling they're going to work because those requisitions will be posted to the agency as well. Apart from internal and external, I'm just telling like this, it will happen. But current company which I'm working, we are not using any agencies for ours. I'm just literally telling what happens once candidate sees the job opening in external career site as a prospect. Again, like what happens prospect candidate. These all the things will come like he'll be a prospect. He'll apply. Once a candidate applies, his job application will come default into the review stage. Once, as you know, review screening, interview, assessing offer, employment agreement reference check, background check, all those things. These are the sub-stages in the job application business processes. And for all this review, screening, interview, assess, offer, employment agreement, reference check, background check, ready for hire. All this we are gonna, design business processes as well. But this, apart from job application, dynamic business process, we are going to, design these business processes also. Before that, first we need to create job position, business process. We are to do and hire business process. However we would have done, I will explain you as it when it comes. I'll explain, just I'm telling how it happens. As I said, once a candidate reaches for ready for hire, our recruitment process will end here. Then hiring team, HCM team will be taking care of that. Then hiring VP will be triggering. Then again, it's a different thing after that. Recruitment process will end once a candidate will reach as ready for hire. This is the completion step over here in this C offer is nothing, but it is related to compensation, which we will write and employment agreement, but would be like a company policies, terms and conditions. All those things will come into picture. Once a candidate enters this offer stage default, you know what happens, the pre-hire will be generated for that particular candidate. That means he is going to become an employee. This stage is also quite important. You know what happens in real time in my company, which I'm working, especially in this point in time. If I want to move a candidate to ready for hire, they will put SN and SSEN. Use for uses candidates, and they'll put SSEN and date of birth. We need to queue. Actually, for the candidate to move, if I forget to, you have to give all those details. Especially, we have to go to candidate job application. There we need to. Just I'm giving an overview, not I'll explain each and everything detail, not just I'm giving. What happens when we don't give all those things? They're going to put those rules. It won't go to ready for hire. However, we need to go on debug each and everything. Job application, this rule already would have. They would have set actually real time. I'm telling how it happens. I'll explain you one more thing, important thing. See this job application. Actually, again one interview question I'm going to tell. You had worked upon. Business processes like hire business processes, right? There are a lot of steps will be there, like it will be sequential steps A, B, C, D, F, like that it will go sequentially, right? Here, this is a job application business processes. Why job application business process is a dynamic business process? Why we say like this, see here what happens in real time. We can customize the subs. Possible stages we can design in here, like for example, you said, right? The candidate might be an employment agreement. Again, we can send back to interview process. Again, we can move further or move back. Move. We can move forward or move behind. It is customer according to the customer. No needs. As per the thing, we have to implement all those things. Those details they will provide what needs to be done. We can design according to that actually. Like that, the process will happen. Just I want to give an idea. As I said, this is a job application. Dynamic business process very important. And you know this. There will be possible steps we are going to design in that. And at the same time, possible dispositions also we are going to design. Those will take it a little bit. We'll explain, we'll go into those topics little later. However, the process will end once a candidate, he reaches ready for hire. And see sometimes. And there is one more important interview question. As I said, what is the difference between offer and employment agreement? As I said, office offers related to compensation, an employment agreement related to the documents, related to policies, terms and conditions of the company, all those things. And you know the difference between offer and recruitment. And the agreement can be part of HCM and recruitment. Both, I would say. But offer is always part of recruitment. These are all questions, interview questions I will give you at the moment. But, however, when we cover those topics, it will be. See, when. See, the important thing is, as I said, the process will start from job requisition, right? We create the job requisitions. Before we create the job requisition, the position should be created, right? The first, once we create the position, as you know, the difference between job requisition, the description, or this one just done. These are details. The description they given by it. Position includes its a title. Title means, hold on, I'll explain. As a PHC man lead, right? Like this. In this we are to create. Again, there is one more interview question which I will cover when I'm explaining the job requisition, that it will be good. I will cover the job requisition and see what happens in real time. See, sometimes HR partner may create, or sometimes director may create the position. Sometimes they are going to create the position and the same position. I'll explain you when it comes to when we create this job requisition, that you will understand that logic, why I said. It will be easy for you to add at that point of time. Just I'm telling overview only. I'm not going to extend anything in the tenant right now. And there were, your prefixes, like you want to search for a job, requisitions. You can go to tenant, you can put JRJ for job, R for requisition. You can put JR colon, and you can search for that particular job requisition. Like let's say Zosen1. That particular position you can search. And as I said, the candidate job application will go into the review stage, right? Here, the candidate job application will be created, and there will be some code will be created. Let's say Zone Territory for F6, something code will be created. You want to check that particular candidate, then you can give KN colon. You can give that number that you can get the correct candidate. And sometimes, we can give his details. Actually, we can go and check his job application. One job application might be processed for multiple job requisitions in real time. See sometimes what happens. Internal candidate will be also there. He might be applying for multiple job requisitions. In our real time, what happens? We use high volume job requisitions. This is for only US candidates. No more job requisitions. High volume in the sense again 10, 15 multiple position profile. In real time, I'm explaining how it's going to be like that. And see if you want to search for an employee, like for example, you can do worker colon and you can search for that particular employee. I can. I don't have a tenant. I can explain few important things in the edit tenant setup for recruiting. Not everything, few things in which I want to show for 5 minutes, but however, I don't have a tenant. You can run process this term when you look at a person. Enable recruiting job areas. See, these settings which we will do is for whole tenant wise, I would say. Certain fields are related to recruitment and which I will discuss. Some are important and some will skip it out. As I said, see here in this enable recruiting job areas, here everything I would say we are going to do every minute. Details in Workday. We are going to check and we are configuring to the client. And we ask them that the client Workday provides this option, right? Client says yes. If client says yes, then we are going to document all those things in Excel. However, not that great important feature in this setup. And when it comes to high referral ranking on my referral activity, this is a newly added feature. If you want to hide referral ranking, we can do that. For that, actually, we will enable this feature. When we know we have multiple referrals, if particular referral is going well, it has that higher ranking, then we won't. We don't want that to be visible. This we will do for that particular. When it comes to this feature, enable recruiting referral levels. It means like which all levels will be participated in the referral programs. Important feature is coming up referral ownership level. This might be, pretty much important because very important field also as well. See we will be seeing in real time also, right? Like there are people who will be referring, right? Who will get the ownership? Who will get the referral bonus? For that there will be levels. I would say there are two types like candidate level. Candidate level of ownership means a referring first come, first set. When it comes to job application, I suppose you like Hammond will be referring one candidate named Rahul for Java developer. Same candidate Shokandala will be referring for C++ developer. But I will be referring for Python developer. He has multiple skill sets. But here that he will be selected for example, the job application which I shared at last moment for Python. The ownership will come to Python for me. I mean to say it's not going to be on the first come first. It is only through the job application, which he is getting selected. If I'm sharing at last moment, but I got a selection right. I mean the job application which has been shared for Python. I would say this is into job application. And most of the times, here real-time candidate level only. We will choose. Actually, we will walk through all those things. This is important. Rest of the future which I explained, these are not that important. But however, we will just walk through, as I said, all those things. Again, referral ownership period, like how many months we would want the person to be the owner of, maybe 12 months, 24 months. That again, client will tell. Based upon that, and this features what we are going through now. Is it the kind of features what you get for a recruiter on a requisition? No. Hemant, see, these are features. When we are setting up, client will give few things not 100% important even in interviews. Also, they won't ask these things. But this referral ownership might be asked. And enable interview scheduling calendar integration. This feature might be asked. I'll just walk through maybe 2, 3 features they'll ask to do that. But basically, right now, what we are trying to discuss, is it like we are trying to grant back access? No, like when we start the implementation. And all what happens, client will give you a few things to set up the tenant. That is this going to be a one-time thing? Yes, of course, based upon the client, one-time thing. For example, if you are going to the job, and then do I have to do it? Do I have to set it up again? No. When we start the implementation phase at the initial stage, client will tell. Not everything. Again, it's based on the customer, which he'll ask to select this thing. Other than that, not, pretty much important. Just the way we do HCMM also right. Few things. For the recruitment, these are all features. Just I want to walk through, because that you guys will understand. Slowly, we'll go step by step, that then will come into the, will prevent referral if candidate. These are, I would say Workday delivery. Default, you will get the option. See prevent referral if candidate is already applied for the job recognitions. I'll show you today. How the job requisition. Just I'll walk through for a couple of minutes. And yesterday Hemant was also asking, regarding, external career site. I'll show those links and all for 2 to 5 minutes. That will just go. We'll go slowly. Hemant and Shagandala. Even if it is 2, 3 sessions, more also will take, and at the end, my motive is to, make you guys to be understanding each and every concept. And I would request each of you to be going through everyday classes. You go through the classes one time and you try to practice at the same moment. Like today class, tomorrow you practice it up that you'll get some doubts right. Tomorrow you can ask me actually. Once this job requisition starts now, our real work will start. We're going to design each and everything business processes, everything and all. Till this time, this theory, this thing, little things we'll go through. In this, I would say that the one which I'm showing, maybe hardly 3 to 4 features will be important. Not more than that. And interview questions in this. Probably this they might ask. Referral ownership will be like candidate level. This they might ask. However, I'll give you all those things at the end moment. But let us work. As I said, these are work to deliver. Duplicate referrals policy. These will be, prevented referral if candidate is already applied for the job requisition. There will be job requisition, which I'll show you. And prevent referral if there are potential duplicate prospects for the same job requisition. These are all work to deliver and prevent referral if this person already exists for any job requisition or area. Prevent referral if the candidate has a duplicate referral with an active owner. Nothing to check on this, but however, system will take those things. And again, enable exact match for duplicate referrals. If you click on this exact match, it will take, maybe based on a well number, email, ID, all those things. It might take default. I would say, again, the next feature would be like in the enable candidate matching. This is not important, but however, in some situations, we require actually this feature. See, we will be looking for some job applications, right? Like the same job application between merging and C. Have you heard about merging and purging? Have you heard about merging and purging? No, right? I'll explain you everything. Merging means just, see here, when it comes to recruiting terminology. When a candidate is referred, by 3 job applications, right? In that case, the data wanted to be accumulated into single record. All the 3 job applications, however, might be shared. There will be that job application. However, it will share 3 job applications will be there for a single candidate. It will be merging into a single data. This is merging. Merging means usually, removing the candidate from entire system. That I'll show you a little later, not now. Just we'll walk through things. And once we give this feature enable candidate, automatic candidate merging, what happens? What the automatically merges such kind of records. And we have to check that box. And when it comes to recruit, the overload counter. This is, this will tell how many candidates can be, assigned or shared by that particular recruiter, maybe for that job requisition. Maybe, suppose just a moment. $50. Maybe for that particular, job requisition or recruiter, maybe he can share not more than 30. Like that, if you give the number, it will take according to that. And, when it comes to enable interview scheduling calendar integration, this is very much important. And in this setup actually, very, very important. I'll give you this as an interview question. Actually, at that moment, I'll be doing these things. See, during this integration stage of job application of business process, we often, require scheduling the interviews, right? In that, we're going to schedule only through Outlook or Google Calendar. And if you want only to be into Workday to give that kind of notification, you select none of the audio. It requires integrations and client gives us the credentials. I'll tell you one example. If you want to do integration with Outlook client, will give us the credentials. Then we'll be able to log in into Outlook from Workday. That's why a lot of cost has been involved in the training. We don't have option to integrate with Outlook and Google Calendar, especially in the training. Usually in the real time, this integration will happen through either Outlook or Google integrations. Apart from that, location types for interview scheduling. This is like on which particular location interviews are going to be scheduled. Just a moment. Which location is going to be scheduled, and probably this, see the data building cubicle headquarters. These are all usually, in implementation. HCMM people will be doing all those activities, not from the recruitment end. These are all. This is basically where the interview is going to happen. That is what. And when it comes to web conference integration system, this is a new field which I was also not much aware of. This. And in interviews also, they won't ask this thing. What I feel personally also. Maybe you can. I'm not sure on this. One moment. Yes. Please, please. Please, Shagendar. Go ahead. When in the Enable Interviews Scheduling Calendar integration, if you choose either the Microsoft Outlook or the Google Calendar, what would the next steps be then in real time? Do we have to configure something or is it taken care in the backend? No, this will be like interview schedulers will be there. They will be taken care through Outlook and all. I'll show you those screens. I'll share you all the screens and all as in when it is required. While we are going through this interview, business processes, right? I'll explain in those. While I show those interview, business processes and all, I'll explain a few things, but in our tenant it is not possible. As I said here, it is not. Understand? Not in the tenant, but in the real time, if you are asked to check in either one of them, you check in the boxes. What happens next? See, usually, if we select this Microsoft Outlook, it happens to be scheduled by the scheduler and a team will be there from interview scheduling team. And they'll be taking care and doing those which I'll show you, those things. Got it. But our job is just to select one option and be done with it. And we have nothing else to be. Just see what happens if you select Google Calendar. Most of the time, suppose, if you select none of the above. Also, this is a notification to the candidates. Like it requires, integrations. And for these clients, will give us the credentials if you select none of them. I mean to say this feature, I'll explain you. Maybe probably, I need to share the screen and I'll explain. No worries. Still a lot of time is there, interview, business process, all those things. But, however, we'll go through all those things. And candidate at home account. As we fill all suppose a candidate is going for a job requisition, he's applying for a job. He'll apply and he'll give all those details. That moment and time, welcome to Workday. All this pop-up messages candidate will get. That's whatever the message he give welcome to Workday. Like if we type here that message once candidate fills his application, it will be intro message for them. Those which will come back a little later. And when it comes to required candidate home account, see if it is a mandate. Yes, it is mandate. Candidate home account has to be created, right? They have to check this box. And when it comes to account creation concept message, sometimes you will be saying like, thank you for applying. Like, we appreciate your interest in this position. We'll just come back to you shortly. Like that. Those messages will be there actually. If you, type in those and you keep it there, then the constant message will come. If you just will check everything in the external career site. We'll wait and see. These are just basic things. And no need to remember everything. Nothing required actually. That is, which I am writing. And when it comes to enable candidate verification email, this is like related to a candidate account. Based upon his email, account will be created, right? Those things. And enable candidate fields in like, is it cooled up? I am not sure. I don't know this feature. But however, it is not much important. Just skip this. And enable candidate fields in notifications. You know when? Sometimes they'll be creating reports, right? We select the advanced reports, like views, business objects, like notification, will be getting the option of candidate. This is actually, option of candidates. This is actually introduced last year, I hope. This feature. Again, not important. And reapply to job with like conditions. If you scroll down, you will be getting the features reply to your organization. Like this is, I'll tell you an example. Sometimes we apply for job, the requirements or something it will go on freeze. Again for reapplying. Reply to your organization from candidate home and internal career sites for non-workers. This feature, this again work with a little bit. If you go to the job posting URL, it will actually. I'll show you that URL. How it's going to be? We have to enable this feature. And when it comes to privacy policy, this is link which is given to us by the client. And for that particular company, clients will give us this link. And you often see this, right? This one. You often see Instagram, those links at the end of the page like this kind of thing. And see, this is time to film. This is like I would say basically a report which checks the efficiency of the recruiter. Like how much time it took for, sharing the profiles or, to getting the closure, like to get into the offer stage, all those things. It's just a report for a recruiter. I would say a comment turnaround time he has took. The reports will be there, which I'll show you. The date, job requisition completed, requisition entered, all those things. Sometimes this feature will be used for talent and performance also. And job application stage order. We see, like yesterday I was explaining job application. These are the sub stages. Like review, screening, assessment, interview, offer. We can actually, which feature, like suppose client wants C after they don't want C. Interview should be prior to this. Like if you want this step review, phone screen, interview, again assessment, it will go like this. We can reorder these things according to the customer needs. In step should be ready for hire and initial stage of job application should be review. This is going to be like whatever the setting, we will do the same thing. it will apply. I will show you. Probably in the job application, or like these are sub stages. Again, we are going to design VPs, each and everything to this. Just no need to remember. Just that's it from this. I am going to cancel this. Just I want to give you a little bit overview. I'm going to do a little bit. I don't need to remember anything. As I said, and let us see the time. I want to share this time. If it is there, it's not. Just wanted to show who is the hiring manager? What is the supervisor organization? Location. We can select who is the recruiter. How much you would have, probably shared the profile. All these details will get by this action. When it comes to prefixes, job application. When once job application is created, there will be one number something. It will be created. If you want to track that candidate, for example, I am a recruiter. I was able to process one profile job application for a review stage. Once candidate enters into the, review stage, there will be one code created. Like if you want to check that code for that particular candidate, I'll show you. Maybe level 0. In real time, what happens? It takes actually for us something like maybe like this. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. If we click on this one, 2, 4, 5, 6, it will take to the candidate. Suppose the candidate name is Rahul. It will take to that candidate. And we can just go and check that candidate's job application. Like that. We can check in the real-time scenario. Candidate C, A in the prefix. Just we can get and check. Suppose you want to check. You guys will be knowing, like workers. I can read a feature, Sometimes this feature, actually it should work. Like, who are all the employee worker column we give and we check. Particular employee, you want to check, we can give that feature. I don't know why it is not working. This is a job acquisition. And when you wanted to search for a job acquisition, for example, you have created one job acquisition. And maybe let's see if anything is coming. See, this is job acquisition. I just given crown name. For that Crown. I know the name. Hence I was able to see here. It was showing as open. Hemant was also asking right. Here I'll explain you how it's going to be. This is job requisitions. See here. Candidate by active stage. Review stage. Phone screen. Assessment. Interview. Off. Reference check. Background check. And ready for head. Once candidate. See once a candidate applies for that, 2080-10. Crown work analyst right. We'll go to. I'll show you how. I think there is no job postings done. I hope. There was no job postings. Too early to go, because when I'm explaining job requisition, we'll go through. But I'll show you how. It just wanted to explain how it does. This is the tab job posting. The URL will be created, which I was discussing earlier. We can post the jobs here. And that once that URL is created straight away. Sometimes, we can share it in LinkedIn. And, we can share it through mails for few candidates also. Like suppose a candidate some may be executive level of hiring, we can share those links to the candidate to apply for the job. Once they apply, they'll come to review stage here, which we are going to see. Now we are not going actually in deep actually. Just wanted to see this candidate's details. See here, Job Requisitions Supervisory Organization, whether it's a spotlight job or not. I'm just walking through. See worker type employee primary location, job posting location. And target type, that I mean they didn't view. Actually, that's the reason it is not showing actually. And apart from that, we can view just basic details only. You don't need to, remember or something. But however, these prefixes which I shared, job requisite, JR colon, you have to remember those things. We'll check what are the prospects data. See, there are details regarding overhead technologies. We'll see. This is a candidate who was applied, but he is not an active candidate. Like this, it will be there. And we'll walk through detailing. But just I'm showing how it's gonna be. You candidate, just I'm showing a few things. You candidate pools. Like this candidate pools or group particular search criteria. For example, we search for only, let's say, education. We put the criteria for MBA, for MCA, whatever it is. It will take the criteria based on that. And it will take. Based on that criteria, the candidates will be entered and we maintain a pool. This also again will go detailing. Don't want to, just showing those things. See candidate pools. Dynamic pool. We'll see how many are there. Crown dynamic pools. There is nobody there. It's there. See, few of the candidates are there. I was just telling right. So your candidate in 3. If you give candidate name, if you don't know the C, so you can 10th century. See here, 10th century date. This candidate has applied for the job requisition RRL sales manager. He is from India. He applied for this job. I'm just walking through, all those things. For whatever I explained, not much important, but only 2-3 features are important. Any other doubts? Shakuntal and Hemant. These are just, basic setups only. You're not going deeply till now. You were sharing the first screen, right? Where you update the acknowledgement going to the candidate when they create a profile and things like that, right? Like you mean to say, the very first screen when we started the session today. Any tenant setup recruiting. How did you go to that page? Awesome. See this one. In the production. Also, we are supposed to use the same term to get into this page, is it? Yes, of course. Because it is like we need to type edit tenant. Edit tenant setup. It's not only for recruiting. I'll just show you. Just a minute. Just a minute. I'm just cancelling it. It will be there for HCMN. See here for edit tenant setup for workloads. Global HCM is also there. If you click on this, it will not work. Because I tried to click on this, probably, to check the settings. See, I tried our evening 6 o'clock. I'll try to click on this. Probably it may not work because they would have restricted it. Maybe in our tenant access, they would have restricted, but in real time, you will get this thing. When you say restricted, is it because you are into the recruiting module right now? No, not like that, Hammond. It's done by our cloud foundation. Probably. People go into that and they will, edit those things. When it comes to HCMN itself, it's for everybody, right? Probably they would have restricted. In real time, you will get the option, whatever you want to do, modifications or something. That's not really good actually. But for some reason, when we took the HCMN training, this was not shown to us. Do you know anything about it, Hammond? Not really. Even I'm on the same page. This was something new for me actually. In this edit tenant setup for HCMM, if it's opening, I can show you a few features. I'll do one thing tomorrow. I'll take some, how do you say it? Screenshots. If it is possible, some old screenshot I'll try to get. Let's see. HCM part we can give without job requisitions. Also, we can create a position. However, see when we are into recruitment, that's a pretty much important feature. When we create a position, job requisition also should come. But when you are into HCM, you will never create a job requisition, right? When you are into HCM, am I right, Hammond and Shagandala? Yes, we just create the position, but we don't create the job requisition, right? There was like a feature in edit tenant setup HCM. If you restrict it, once you create position, you have to create the job requisition. Else it will not fit. That I want to show, but however I was unable to do it. What I'll do is, if I get a screenshot tomorrow, I'll try to show you for 3 to 5 minutes. Edit tenant setup recruiting. You got some options there, right? Like sending an acknowledgement to the candidate when the account is created and things like that. Basically, what I understood from that is like, let's say as a candidate, I apply for a position in the company through the external site in the company website. The minute I apply, what email notification I get as a candidate is the content what you're trying to configure in the backend here, right? Absolutely right what you're saying. You got the point actually? Each and everything when we are trying to implement. Customer will give everything in the Excel sheet. He will provide us. Based on that, we will set up. If it is everything, see a few times what happens in real time. The customer which I am working, they were a bit critical. They know what they actually. A bit tricky customer. But, however, when you work with some other customers, when I worked previously, they don't know anything about that. That time it's different. But I rarely got this actually. These current companies, they know what they each and everything. That is what. And a few things I'll cover. Maybe if I get a time. At the end moment, I'll tell you a few things, also real time, which you might feel happy for 10 minutes. If you have a time, maybe 8 o'clock, we can start for 8 to 8. Is that? We can stretch the session for 10 more minutes. How the recruiting flow will work? Just we'll walk through the slides actually, that you'll get an idea how it's gonna work. See you when you create job requisition. In tenant, if you go there, you put create job requisition. Create job requisition task. When you give that task, let me show you. This is the task. Create job requisition. Very, very important. We are not going to detail in. Just an overview. Whatever the position, as Shakantala was telling, created positions, when I mean both of you are working for HCMM. Whatever the position you created, that should come here in the supervisory organization. However, I'll go very much detail into that. Now, and I'll give you some important interview questions. Here it will come. Few important questions. When we were doing it for our organization, I used to create the job requisitions. Under supervised your organization, we used to give the manager's name. See as if now the position is not created right. Just I'm telling this stuff. We are not going anything into. Till now we are not going anything detail while. That is the reason. First 3-4 classes will go slowly. Once we start job requisition, we'll go little bit speed. And it will be easy for you guys. No need to worry. Once you start job requisition slowly again, evergreen job requisition. Again external career sites and designing of all the job application sub stages, review, screening, assessment one by one. And in between, I'll tell you how to create questionnaires where all we can attach those questionnaires. I'll show you probably, those phases which might tomorrow you can, while presenting the interviews, also you can tell this I have done this, that and all. That I'll tell you a little later. I had plans. No need to worry. We'll just come back to this time. Once you create job requisition task, we will enter few details. Once you enter all the details which is required, there will be details like whether it's a spotlight job, all those things. Don't want to go detail in, just the process. I want to explain at the end moment, we'll give click. We'll click on submit button. Once we click on submit button, job requisition business process will trigger. What I feel is, very important thing. And at the same time, you guys will be knowing higher business process also, right? Like you would have configured higher business processes. Then propose compensation higher, right? Suppose. When it comes to recruitment, what I think personally is we have to configure create position business process, job requisition business process. Sometimes interviewers might ask, but one of the interviewers, he asked total process for me. Each and everything. How are you going to do? What are you going to do? Which, once we go detail everything, at the end moment you will get a picture what we are doing. That he asked me that question. I explained him for 10 to 15 minutes. This one time only they asked, but however it might be useful. Just I'm walking through. Create position business process. We want to, create that business process and job requisition business process. It will trigger once we click on submit button. Immediately the job requisition BP will trigger. In that we will give you details, all those things. Then we're going to configure job requisition business process, which will include a mandatory step as job posting. I'll tell you one example. See, when we are configuring higher business process, proposed compensation is a sub-process, right? In this job requisition business process, posting is a sub-process. We have to add this step mandatory, even default. We should add this step actually. Posting this BP also will trigger posting BP. Once it is triggered, hence must be configured before triggering. Before triggering, we are to this posting BP. It's easy, couple of steps only, not more than that. Once that BP is triggered, what will happen? That posting. It's actually, it's a very simple email. It's the same way. We are actually, it's a very simple email. We can do that posting internally and externally. That option, I'll explain you. No, not the right moment to show you. Because when we do those job requisition, when I explain to you guys, you'll be doing just a matter of, 1 hour, half an hour. But once you learn, it's pretty easy. After that, you will be doing it easily. And I'll explain you to take the internal candidate and we'll send that internal candidate. Because sometimes what happens in our customer place, which we will be sending few, we have done few test cases, sending some internal candidates and checking. I'll come back to you. Each and everything I'll explain. We can post the job either internally or externally. You might be having a question. If I post a job externally, that site will be there. It will go on. That job will be posted. For example, KP Manji, in that career site, the job posting which is done, it will be posted there. The candidate straight away, he can go and apply for the job. What about internal? What about internal? When you post a job, what happens? Do you have any idea? Hamid and Shokandala post a job internally. When we post a job externally, you guys know how it is going to reflect in the external career sites. Like let's say a few company websites like KPMG or HP, whatever it is, Deloitte, whatever it is. There will prospect, can go there and I can apply for the job requisition. Once he applies, he will become an active candidate. That yesterday also, we expect same thing. When we post a job internally, how the candidate is going to apply? Do you have any idea? It would be posted on the organization's website. And if you think that you're fit for the job, you would go ahead and apply for the job. And the next process would be same. You review him. And then maybe you might not screen him, but push him forward to the interview. You're almost correct. But in work detail terminology, there is a task called for internal jobs. Find jobs report. What are the posting you are done? See, based on the primary location hiring manager, it will come here. We can search here and get that particular job requisition. See here, posting it externally. Same job, we are posting it internally also. When we post it internally, immediately it will come here. It will come here and it will reflect here. Important thing is, if internally candidate has to be applying for this job, what has to be done? Any put, any int, any answer. I am in the shop, people. See, externally the candidate is outside. It was not into the system. He'll apply for the job when internally he was able to find this item. Let's say this is an internally job posted. I was able to click this job posting. Let's see. I'm not sure whether it's internal. For this, a candidate has to be applying any idea. Internal person has to apply. How it gonna happen? I think, if I'm not wrong, they will have a tab to apply for it through Workday and they will submit their application. You're correct. I know the important point is suppose Hammond is an employee. He will go in. Suppose we are in testing phase. I am doing a testing actually. Let's say I am doing one testing. I can go to Hammond's profile. I can give here Hammond profile internal candidate because I'll be knowing his name, data and all. I'll give Hammond. In behalf of the candidate, I'll go. I'll proxy in as Hammond then, while doing testing, update. You said correctly, Hammond. You are absolutely right. When we do some time, testing internal candidate, there might be some cases that we have to test those cases. In that situation, you have to proxy in as a Hammond. And you would. Once you proxy in as Hammond, you will put find jobs. You give that task. You will come here and you will apply here. Now we are not in the candidate prospect. We can, apply here. You will get an option for apply. Probably, maybe mobile number, email ID we can change. Or in my customer place, I think it will ask whether the internal candidate is work for 1 year, not less than that, else it will not take. Your restrictions will be there. We can give and the candidate will be taken forward. Like this. Don't worry. Just a giving overview. The question, what you asked me now, with the explanation, what you shared, is that the answer for that was employee need to go ahead and type find job in the search field to get into this portal. When you proxy in C, when you are proxying as a Hammond, because you're employee, you will be proxying in your credential. When you want to apply, you can apply. But when I am testing Hammond's profile, whether it will work or not, I am going to test. That time I will proxy in as your profile and I'll do those testing. Got? For a candidate or a user experience perspective, I think using an option of search field to find the position internally might not be relevant is what I personally feel. Because you might have much more options under the menu tab, like personal career tab, where you can try to go ahead and find the internal job positions easily. We can filter it here. We can filter it like primary location, hiring manager, Jamily, job category, job profile, organization, management level. We can filter and we can give it the search also, whatever you want. Can you also type on the menu? Click on the menu tab towards your left and top. This one, right? No, not on the top. On the top. Click on that. Over here, you also should have an option of career. No, we'll learn career. Career. If you go click on this career, it should also take you to the same page where you can look at the find job, open jobs, right? Correct. That's true. Absolutely. Very good. From an end user experience, I think this should be the reliable way on how they can find jobs internally and submit application. Absolutely. Correct. This is also that sometimes here onboarding. I didn't work much, but I have a little bit idea on that. Onboarding feature will be added. We can just go through all those things. We'll come back. Detail it. No. Vishnu, why did we talk about the test environment with start proxy? Why sometimes. I'll explain you in 5 minutes. Because, you are asking real-time scenario, right? You want that, right? Once I finish this couple of slides, I'll tell you. I guess I said real-time. I'll tell when I would tell. Once we post the job internally or externally, then we click on that, click on submit and URL will be generated on the job posting, requisition posting tab. I was also showing In the job requisition, there is a job posting tab, right? Under that one, URL will be created. Candidate can apply using that URL present on external or internal side. That URL also we can write, right? Just process, I'm explaining. And once it is done, job application business process will trigger when candidate submits the job application. Here, once candidate is applied for the job requisition, once he is applied, this BP will trigger job application and dynamic business process. Why we say this dynamic business process is normal? I said normal hire BP is under A, B, C, D, like it is static BP, right? We go according to the sequence, but here in job application, as I said earlier, we can just customize. We can send back to the previous stage. Again, we can move further. According, this also will be done, guided by the customer, this implementation. Customer will be guiding all this. No need to, worry. Once it is done, configure job requisition PPs, which will include mandatory step as posting. See, in job requisition, there will be a step called, as I said, posting is mandatory. See, in higher BP, proposed compensation is a sub-process, right? Like that, we're gonna add this posting in the job requisition as a step. I'll explain you further when we are going to design those business processes. Once posting, business process will trigger, hence must be configured before triggering. That's what it is telling. We have to configure everything. As overall, I would say in this process, first we are going to, as per my knowledge, create position. We are going to business process will trigger. And job requisition business process will design. Job posting business process will design. And if it is required for evergreen, we can configure that. Apart from that, I think we are on the same page. I think I went to again that bit. I'm sorry I got confused. I'm really sorry. I explained the process. Whatever I explained, that is absolutely correct. Those BPs and all. Once can you click on submit, and once the URL is created, this is done, right? Till job application, it is done. Configure job application business process before it's triggered. We see in this job application business process, as I said, it's a dynamic one. Here we configure like possible stages. Under that, there will be a column called like dispositions. What are the dispositions we can add there? Because to decline the kind of disposition, nothing but decline the job applications. The reasons, right? This is dynamic one. Here we will configure all those things. Once it is done, make sure each segment of job application BP are configured. That means, which I explained to you right now, possible sub, stages and disposition reasons. We have to configure that. It's pretty easy. Only you might be thinking, but however, it is easy only. It's easy. One time if you do, you can do it pretty easily. After that, we go to design business processes like sub-stages, review, screening, assessment interview, offer and employment agreement, reference check and ready for hire. All those. It is we are going to design all those things. Once these are configured, move candidate forward till ready for hire or decline candidate with appropriate disposition reason. We can move the candidate because based on his performance, we can move the candidate. For example, candidate is really fit, we will take him to ready for hire. Else, we can decline the candidate based upon the disposition. Disposition reason might be the case. For example, there will be a candidate. We will send him till the offer stage. but he might not be interested with the compensation. We have to decline that job application. Reason saying that candidate is not happy with compensation. Compensation reason we can put just one. They will be already designed that step. We can put that and we can do the configurations. Like that, the designing will happen actually. Any doubts? Just to explain, we will go indefinitely or in deeply. We will go further in our further sessions. Just a moment, I will take my battery is little bit dry. Any doubts, Hemant and Shakuntala? Vishnu? Shakuntala was asking the real-time scenario. I will tell you some good things with Workday partner companies. I will tell my own experience. See, when you go into a new company, for example, some company, let's say XYZ, a work department company. What happens actually? You know in real-time scenario as you go into the system. To get the credentials, only it will take 30 days. To get into the project, sometimes 1 month, 2 months or it might take another 1 month. Sometimes it might take 4 or 3 months also. Like you might not be having any project till 2 to 3 months. If everything goes well in permanent, you know what happens, you might get the credentials, everything after. Once you join everything, 1 month, 1.5 months, you will get everything. Once you get into the project, there were, instances in the companies. What's going to happen? They're not going to the company which I work. They're not going to give you straight away scenarios and make you to work. Initially, when I joined, some XYZ company, I got some 7 scenarios. In the 7 scenarios, first scenario has been asked like, see those scenarios. I would say, not into your work, not into your work. But however, those are like, I would say, to get practiced into the tenant. See, they like practiced in the sense their first scenario will be create a position and they will only give which supervisory organization you need to go, you need to proxy in, and you need to create a position. And once you create a position, sometimes they'll give maybe director or they'll only give that scenario you need to. Job requisition will trigger, right? Once it is triggered, candidate will come to review stage. We'll take that candidate to ready for type. Why they give all those things? To get habituated with the work. Ideally, in the planner, they will assign these things. But, however, in the real time, when you start the work, the good thing which I felt is I was having with the 17-year-old only. I was habituated with the tenant. And it is not actually a work actually. After that, for that, and pretty important thing is once you enter into the system, once you get all the credit, one more thing you will be getting some KTV videos initially regarding that particular process of the company. It might take a week for you to go through all those videos, each and everything. What is that they are using? Whether they are using BPs, how they are designing, what are the job profiles they are using, how they are using those evergreen job requisitions, all those things within a week. It takes time, but they will give that time to you. Once you go through those KTV videos, then they will assign this planner work. But actually the initial point in time, the work they will give, the work which has assigned to me those 7 scenarios, not actually a work. To get into tenant, they are given that work. For example, one more scenario I will tell you. I have to move a candidate from. I need to take New Jersey candidate and I have to move the candidate till offer stage. Again renegotiating the offer letter, I have to come back and again move the candidate to ready for sale. I mean here actually it is not a work, but however we are taking a candidate, we are going just to the external career site. And we can, we can post the jobs, we can. Just this as a kind of, to have it fit. At the same time, you can choose any candidate. We can create anything to have it fit. And apart from that, sometimes, they'll give some test scripts also. Let's say test scripts means test scripts is nothing, but there are a few onboarding scripts which has assigned to me to habituate with the process. Like see how do we do each and everything process. It will be written everything in the step by step. For example, you have to once a candidate is reaching and step by step, they will only write that script. You have to just go and execute. Because step by step, once we are executing, you will understand that onboarding process well. Ideally, it's not a planner work for me, but they'll give you test scripts. If you read the scripts, you will be able to understand what needs to be done. You have to click on Submit button. Once you click on Submit Job Requisition, it will trigger. Like that, it will be written step by step. Like the way we see, it is written in English like we see, right? Click on Submit and URL will get. And I mean like that it will be written, those scripts. You mean to say everything is documented. Yeah, absolutely. Understood. Like that kind of scenario they'll give when you joined initially, good companies will give. Good companies like Word. But this was my good experience. Like everything they are documenting and they are making, we can take any candidate. You can apply, from the any job requisition, just they needed data. We are sending that candidate to ready for help. Like that and all those scripts will be there. We can. In the planner it will be assigned. But we will be. A good thing is we will be habituated with the process. At the same time, by seeing those documents, you'll be able to do it perfectly. But once you know the process, it's pretty easy. A few times our friends, colleagues will be there, right? Which we don't, they will also help actually. This is the good thing which I felt actually. Straight away, I didn't get a work, to be honest. That is what I want to share. Let's go actually. We're going to be honest. See, yesterday I was, discussing on, edit tenant setup. That seems to be late. See this task. We were able to see right editor and setup, but however understand, and it is not working right. Why I'm telling this? Because here the access problem is that I think it is their problem. 2. You guys will be practicing, like into HCMM, right? While practicing, like you will not get any option for, creating job requisitions. Right? You never got because there was a tenant setup. Actually, when you go to edit tenant setup H, see, you could give, there will be a tab present. Like we were able to see my screen, right? Job requisitions tab will be there in that. If you select this, none of the above, this job requisitions will not be, it will not come. Actually, that setup will not come. That is the thing here. See, we have to either require job requisitions for all position management staffing events, or we can enable job requisition position management based on the rules. This we have to give the settings. Once you enable this, then only job requisition step will actually execute. Yes, only directly. We can, create the position for position management especially. When it comes to job management, see here, if you enable this, then only again the position order, the job requisition, will be there, else it will not be enabled. Just want to show this. Actually, because we are going to select the options as per the client requirement. No, I'm telling yesterday you guys were asking that out, right? I got that. Get that. But when we set up, I understood your point. What happens? In the real time. A default it will be set up. Actually, just I'm telling for your knowledge. Then one more. I want to show you just for this basics why I'm just, sharing all those things that you will get that fullest knowledge. That's what my intention is all about. It helps actually. Again, edit tenant setup XCM. I've shown you a requisition tab, right? Just now, a minute before. Again, there is a one tab called ID. Under the ID here, see job requisition ID as an 826. What does this mean? Is client will actually give some code. It should start from Malazant 826. When you are creating next job requisition, it should come as 100 827 828. This code will actually be, what is the code has to be given. That implementation client will actually tell us that we can give that. ID actually. Understood, right? Have you any doubts? Hemant and Shakunta. I don't have any doubt. Alright. Then, when it comes to position, ID this also. We create positions, right? The IDs will be there, right? The code will be given by client. After that, the sequence will follow. What are the, whatever we had present after that, everything that it will go as per the sequence. The initial first code will be given by the client. And from there on, it just follows the serial number. Thank you. This is what happens. Now we're going to go into recruiting security. I hope you will be knowing. When you heard when you were going with HCM classes, you will be knowing what is meant by security. You have any idea what is meant by security? Hemant and Shakuntar. We have covered this in our HCM training session. Just if you have any idea, you can just know what is meant by security. You can explain this, just a word. If you know. Or else we'll just brush up the things. That's what my intention is all about. Maybe you can go over again, and if you have any questions, you can ask. We'll just brush up the basic things. Security. I hope you guys will be knowing. Security is nothing but a role which will be having a security group associated with it. Then when it comes to security group, a security group is nothing but the users who need to perform actions or they need to access to certain data. He'll get access to certain data. That's what all about security group. And when it comes to domain, these are like collection of items that share the same security. And again, domain is classified into domain security policies and business process security policies. As you heard in HCM classes, domain security policy is nothing, but that security group will be having access to data in particular domain. Like view or modify or get or put access. All those things will be there. And when it comes to business process, security policy, security group, who can take part in the business process, like who can start, who can action, who can cancel, who can resign. This is nothing but business process security policy meaning. And when you guys will be knowing again the basic things of what is meant by business process. Business process is just a set of tasks that people initiate, act upon in order to complete the business objective. Let's say example, HR partner or manager or compensation partner or whatever it is. And when it comes to functional area, have you heard about, functional areas? This actually, consists of domain and business process actually. Let us go to come in. Once we give this functional area, we get to know, what are the domains actually present in the tenant. We'll just try to filter it out because we're going to look for recruiting rights. We're going to filter. This is, recruiting functional area in this. Are you able to see, what are the domains as actually present? See, there are domains like manage candidate engagement, manage recruiting campaign, manage your recruiting events for candidate engagement, manage recruiting landing, set up candidate engagement. A lot of domains have been present. No, we'll do one thing. We'll go to this actually. That is also recruiting. I got countries. Both are recruiting. If you go here, there are 157 domains are included in this recruiting functional area. And if you see what are the business processes included, especially for recruiting business functional area, see as a candidate, self, schedule event close. Evergreen requisition business process is done. End of candidate evergreen requisition change interview, business process, job application, VP, as I said, dynamic one. Manage internal career, apply offer post upon. Like all this just want to show you actually. Functional area is a combination of a domain plus the business processes, right? Absolutely. We'll get to know what are the domains included, especially for that particular domain. If you go and see, because it's recruitment, I just shown that going to the museum also, you can see. We can figure it out. I think both, two of them, I think somebody has created. We're looking to top one, but there are more. See, these are the domains that seem functional areas, all those things. Like that. We just want to see only recruitment. I just wanted to show how it is. And you will be knowing, right? I'll show you that. Recruiting functional area. Do you know the task which I had to put to check the function again? Any? The main functional area. Absolutely correct. Okay. Domain security policies for functional area. We can be, and as you are aware, we're going to check earlier it is for you guys. We'll be checking for staffing. Or I've seen. See, these are the domains. Let's say candidate data job application. This is I would say the mind in this. There are a subset of domains like candidate data assessment. This is super domain. In this we go and check candidate data assessment. This is a subdomain candidate data assessment, candidate data background, candidate data bundle resumes. Like that. It will just want to show you on the things. And I just want to, talk about segment based security group. In HCM classes, you heard security groups. What are the security groups? You heard user based, job based. Could you please explain? Role based or user based? Role based is you give security to that particular role. The security group is, we give access only on it's a restricted access. I would say like constrained access. We give it to that particular super organization, right? And when it comes to, like user-based security, it is a whole tenant, wide access. And they have that elevated level of access. They can know they'll be having an independent access. This is, you heard about security groups in the HCM classes. This is segment-based security groups. This segment-based security groups, what happens, these are like, this group gives restricted access of a domain to one or more security groups. Let's say role-based security group or user-based security group. Like you might be wondering, restricted. What does this mean? Restriction. See, I'll explain each and everything. I think I have to take one example. See, this domain is discussed far. I know segment-based security groups. Let's say candidate data, job application, external or internal. Right. Candidate data questionnaires, candidate data assessment results. We got to check a few things. We'll create a security group, then I'll explain you that you'll understand. No need to create any roles for this, just directly we can go on create security. We can do. We can select segment-based security group. Name we can do. Maybe manager. I'll explain. You say manager. We are going to select manager here. You might be wondering also what is the main basic minutes. I'm coming to the point. See, we are going to create a security group, restricted access for example. See, I'll explain to you what is meant by this segments. You can consider these segments as subset of like domains. It may not be giving full access of domain. It is like giving partial access of a domain. In this manager, want to view only job application external. You should not be any other candidates. We are restricting for the manager for that particular domain. We are restricted. We are giving restriction access. Only he can view this job application. Like that we will create. And like this, you will do it actually. Then this person is given access to the segment. Will he be able to take any action on it, or it's just view kind of thing? See, I like those things are incoming slides. I'll explain you. See here we can explain. See here. Security group was manager. It is a role-based security group, as you know. We can include user security over here and restrict the domain access. See, there will be. I'll show you all those domains. I understand that. But if you get access to a particular domain, will you be able to take any action on it, or it's just a view? What if I had view access and we are going to view that particular security group in the business processes like review stage review, job application, review business process and screening interview business processes like that example? And will you be showing this in the further classes? Now I'll show you. I wanted to show you how, because here for manager, actually he should not view other job applications. He should only be viewing the application to external candidates, not internal candidates. That is where we are putting restrictions for a manager. If you go in a domain, he'll be having all the access. But, however, I should only see this. That is the reason the segments will be useful actually. The segments, as I said, you know a subset of the domains, like example. See here. See, this is actually a super domain. And then in this you want to access only candidate data job application. Like this, I'm just telling example. These are subsets. We will give only access to that particular segment. Just I'm telling example. It happens like that. There's, as I said, the segment by security groups. They will always be restriction candidates job application because they'll not be viewing each and everything. Only we are going to set up restrictions. Only they'll be able to view few data, which we are going to do in the segments. This segment with modify access to the reports, attacks, permissions, sections, candidate data, job application domain in the recruiting function. I'll show you the upcoming slides. Also a few things. I'll explain that. We will get to know each and everything. And example. Also, it's mentioned segmented. Segmented security enables managers to see like other job application for external candidates while restricting them from seeing any other job applications for those candidates for employees are continuing purpose. Again, only he will be able to see employees are continuing. We can restrict that by using this segmented security. And we can attach this group. Actually, in the business processes, like it depends again. I'll show you where we can attach again. Few slides are coming that you will get to know a little more clearly. And the segmented security. Like we can do it for questioners also. Like we can control access questionnaire responses in each stage of the job application business processes. Because right questioners will give. Question is nothing but collection of information. It shows the information. And when it comes to question of security segments, there is access to one or more questions. Create question of security segment. Again, I'm just coming to the point. In this domain, we can actually go and add the security group which we are going to create. The security which we created. Those we can add in this questionnaire. Candidate data questionnaire total score, which will be like security, which will be securing the total score to a candidate screening questionnaire on the job requisition composite. By using this, you will be getting the candidate screening questionnaire on the job requisitions. And one more domain is point 8 data questionnaires. It secures all questionnaire responses submitted by internal and external candidates. These are the questionnaire domains. We can configure segmented security for recruiting questionnaires. Actually, I'll show you how. See here, this is like activity you can practice also. But however, I'll show you recruiters will be having access to all questioners in the review stage, and managers have access to all questioners in interview and offer stage. HR partners only have access to the criminal conviction questionnaire in the background check stage and managers to see total scores of all screening questioners. Here we are going to create we are giving restricted access for questioners now. Just now I've shown for job application few things. For the questionnaire domain, we are giving restriction access. Recruiters have access. This one I'm going to do for this. Recruiters have access to all questioners in the review stage. We are going to select segment-based security group. See, recruiter. Just will name this security group name as this. We are giving restricted access for security group like recruiters. I think we are less. However, we'll take something. Assume that it's a recruiter group and we are restricting access to candidate data review questionnaire. We are going to create this. Any doubts? Not as if not. To get this activated, you have to activate the pending. Correct. Correct. Just doing that. We are going to create this. See, we are giving restriction for only this recruiter group. They have to view only this candidate review questionnaire in the questionnaire domain. Understood. Right. Domain is questionnaire. And here we are going to give restricted access to them because they should not view other things. That is the reason. Understood the concept. What is meant by segment-based security group is nothing. But we can involve either role-based security group or user-based security group for this. And it will be a restricted access actually. This name is manager, but how are we restricting for only managers? Access to segments would be candidate data, as the slide is showing at this time. As the slide is showing, interview on the upper stage. Questionnaires only. See here. Configure segmented security for recruiting questions. Right. Interview on the upper stage. Data interview questionnaires. Access to segments. This they can view, not the entire domain. We are going to give access to this only. That is, about the segment-based security group like this. We are just creating it. Can you show us how to activate the? Sure. And then still 2 more tasks are pending. Hey partners. You can. Yes. Just trying to understand. Now it will be confused, but how are you? See you. Hey partner. I guess you didn't select the security. No, I think the problem that happens. Hey partners. And we are giving restricted access. But I said partners because see, they should only view few things in the. Let me go to the slide. Background check stage. They should not be each and everything in the background check stage. Whatever the security group, we are creating it here. We're going to add those in the questionnaire domain. We are going to add those security groups like CF100, a child partner. CF100 manages those security groups. We'll add that, and those will be populated in the business processes, like for recruiters, in the review business process. That security will be populated over there. And at the same time for managers, what are the group has been? We created that will be populated in the interview, business process and offer stage. However, when we are designing, this BP's handle, I'll show you actually. If you want. Let me finish this at least. But I don't check. I don't think. In between the system. Candidate data question. But I said, by granted question, we are just a secret actor. We are giving to this HR partner. Again, we are going to create security group. Segment-based security group. I think many of them. We can bother. Screening questions. Let's see. Activity which was showing like we are going to do this. That is for candidate data screen question for this particular security. There are steps written from candidate data question that totals for you can go to this commands. It is in the recruiting. We can go. Security policy permissions. We can do. Modifying view access. See here. See CF100 managers. Partners. We can give modified view access. What has to be done from? And second, the next step, what has to be done? Like what we do actually, once we give modified access. Any. I don't. Alright. No, I'll explain it. We are to do accurate. Pending security policies changes. You just gave them access in the previous step. And now we are activating the pending security. That's what we do. We've been saying this. That is what I was expecting. But however, maybe you confused that. I don't. I got confused because I saw you activating in the previous step. I was a bit confused to what you were going to do. Don't worry. It will be actually, you will get to know when you see. Usually when role-based security groups under what we do. Shagun Dallasy. We're going to maintain a signable roles. We go there and we create all those things, right? But here we are not doing anything directly. We are creating a segment-based security group. We are restricting access to particular domain segment access with the group. Let's say manager, HR partner, or recruiter, right? This is what in, and the same thing. What are the security group we are giving access? We have to add those steps in the business processes. Like let's say now, I don't think that will be activated because what? I'll show you where it needs to be done. We can attach those groups over here. Let's say, are you able to see my screen, right? Yes, we are. Probably we can add here this step. Configure questionnaire, complete questionnaire. Here we can add, but it will. I'll show you, not now. Just want to give you an overview. That's it. At least you should be able to understand the things. You can go to the business process and attach the questionnaires if you want to attach. And I'll tell you, you know a few things about questionnaires also. Any doubts, Far? I'll explain you concepts and questions which will be very important. That's clear up to now. We created segment-based security groups till now. And as you know these are, we are giving restricted access to managers, restricted access to HR partners, restricted access to recruiters also. Because they don't want to see each and everything right in the domain, total domain. We don't want to give them access for particular subset we are giving. Right. That is what we're gonna do, and we are done also. That is what it is. You can revise these things. Let me go to questionnaires now. Important thing. Wherever we can attach questionnaires, all those things will come. So now, you're clear, right? Those we have created, and there might be, like. Do you get any interview questions related to these? Yes, of course. That is what I was just thinking. Coming to the point, you were able to catch it. Right. Sometimes, an interviewer might ask you, have you created any segment-based security group? You tell, whatever. This only you can tell. Don't tell much into that because again it will go more into questionnaires. I created segment-based security groups, like for recruiters, candidate data review stage. This one, first one. And I attached those in the business processes, and I had given access to that particular security group in the questionnaire domain. And I populated again those security groups in the VP. Right. You understood, right? How you had to answer. Can you come over again if you don't mind? No, I'll explain. See, interviewer will ask you questions about all the configuration you have done for segment security groups? He'll ask. In case if he asks some, I'm sure he might ask, because what are the security groups you have worked with? He'll catch only segmented security groups. He'll ask you what is that? And you explain that. What all you have done, you can only take that option. I have done segmented based security groups, like creating restricted access for recruiter in the candidate data review stage, review questionnaire. And in the business processes of review stage, I was able to populate those security groups, which I am adding the security group in the domain of questionnaire. See here questionnaire, right? Activities questionnaire. We are adding that security group, whatever we are creating for that recruiter, that CF100 we created, right? For recruiters, that security group we are adding in the questionnaire domain. At the same time, we are populating the same security group in the review stage of business process. Like that, you can take option for managers, HR partners, and again for screening questionnaires. Well, winding up all the end of the sessions. Again, I'll tell you how we need to present everything. Just I want to tell them again. Because I'm trying to catch the terminology. Why you are not able to catch the terminology? No, we are not designed any business process right. Right now I'm telling you, you will be confused only. But we will slowly go into the picture. See what happens slowly once we design each and everything. See, upcoming sessions will be requisitions. Slowly, you will be able to understand. Slowly we are going to create, because till now we didn't create the job application business process right. We have to create a review training, assess, interview, offer all these sub stages of business process. There we are going to attach questionnaires also. That makes sense when we do the exercise. Yes, I'm telling you not. It will be very much interesting and you won't be confused at all. While I end up the course, you will go with a lot of confidence. But I can assure you, as I said, initial 3-part sessions are difficult to understand. Because these terminologies you wouldn't have heard, you might be thinking like that. That is the only reason. Once you apply that logic and once you practice the things, I'm sure it's easy for you. Because since you have a tenant, you can do a lot of experiments in the tenant, right? Correct? To do all these configurations, is there any area which requires the certification? That only certified person can do this, or anybody, even like someone doesn't have any certification, who can do all these configurations? No, what happens? See, these kind of configurations client will actually give us. You know, this is like mostly into security team. We have team of a recruiting security will be there, right? Security. Most of the time, we will take help from them. And these accesses what needs to be done. We will be having planning actually. No, we will get in which domain we have to go and give each and everything that details be shared by client. Else, we can check in the Workday. Community security suite will be their option. There we can get all those things. It's not like only for certified candidate we have to do. No, we can get all those things. I got the point. It's not like success factor. No, I'm listening from background. I'm listening, it's now. You're saying it is not like success factor. See, I come from SAP HCM success sector background. I know Oracle Fusion also. In success factor, like there are certain things only certified person can do because they need their certification ID to do certain configuration. It's not like here, right? Like you're teaching us, and even if I'm not certified, I can do this, right? It's like that. Absolutely. There is no. I think you know certifications and all client will actually propose. See, once you're in the project, client will bear the money and he'll propose you for certifications. These things will be done, like once client confirms we'll be going for certification, and it will be like even exactly Workday recruitment. How many days? Probably, as I said, in the yesterday session or day before yesterday session. I have not total idea, just an overview. Like initial classes, you have to go through the classes there again for certification. 45 hours of classes will be there. Each day, it will be like you have to finish it in 5 to 5 days. Then again, there are few phases of tests that I'm going to give clear picture for Workday recruitment in upcoming sessions. Not now because, as I said, my colleague is going for certification, not in my project. He's going for certification probably next week or next to next week. Once he is done, then probably I can give exact picture on the Workday recruitment certification actually. Certifications and all client they will propose. You don't need to worry on that. Once you are certified again, it's a good thing, right? Sometimes when you are certified, clients will tell you to quit for some period of time. Your certification may not be valid. Those kinds of things are there. Again, it depends. I'll give you an analysis on that. No thanks. That replies my question. That's fine. This is the only thing which I wanted to know that we are not. There is no hurdle doing any configuration even if we are not certified. That's fine. You don't need to remember any. You know exactly. Candidate data questionnaire. These are the things. No need to remember everything because you will be knowing. There is security suite. Future will be there in the Workday community. Once you give that where we need to go and configure the details, we'll get all those details. No need to worry on that. This is what actually, when we design the business process, you will get a clear picture why we have created and why you are making those security groups populating in the review stage of business process or interview stage of business process. Right now it will be configured only. Once we do the configuration, yes, there is a logic. We have done that. Here it is happening that you'll understand why I'm not able to show now. We are not going that sequence. We go according to the sequence of steps that you will understand slowly. My intention is all about you need to understand slowly in a correct way that rhythm will come. I don't want to go for the sessions again. I can design now also and I can explain it. But then I don't want to give that because job requisitions, everything. It should go on a sequence. That sequence, if you follow, it's easy actually. That is where we go, step by step actually. And it's pretty easy as well. We'll go to the concept question. And as you know, question is nothing but collection of information, right? I'll create a questionnaire and I'll tell you. You know how it's going to populate with job requisition, with business process, with sub-stages of business process. What we're going to create? CF100 questionnaire. See, I'll tell you a few things you know in real time. What happened in Shakuntala and in Kumar as well. For C, we use high volume job requisitions. For that, actually there were some knockout questions. Questionnaires will be prepared. For example, a candidate is asking more salaries. The budget is 40 or 50,000. He asked they will be putting What is the salary expectation of questionnaire? You put 110,000, suppose the budget is 60 or 70 US dollars. Just assume that if you give more amount of automatically that job application will be declined. It will not go to the stage. Understood my concept? Understood, Shakuntala? Oh, you want me to explain? I have understood it. You're saying if the candidate is quoting for more salary, it will automatically decline. Like that. There are a number of knockout questions will be there, but especially for high volume job requisitions. Just I'm telling you 5 to 6 knockout questions will be there. If anything he gives like more or something which he want to, sometimes they might ask for something. Maybe in US we have sponsorship. Absolutely. Excellent. Sponsorship. You will request sponsorship. If you do, then it will be a knockout. Understood. Right. Now that job application will be different. Wonderful. You were able to catch me. I was unable to recollect. Thank you much. Like that it will happen. Just want to give the real time scenario. When it comes to questionnaire, again we are going to create the questionnaire now. This is the questionnaire. The important thing is when you are creating a questionnaire, please remember this is very important. This has to be selected as recruiting. See here. By default, every time when you're creating a new questionnaire, you should always select recruiting as the type. No, I'll tell you the logic. Again, coming to the point, you're almost correct. If you select this questionnaire as recruiting type, we can populate this questionnaire in the job requisition. See, whatever the questionnaire we are creating, that has to be populated in the job requisition. See, there will be. When we create job requisition, you will get an option for questionnaires. I'll show you when we create the job requisitions in upcoming sessions. Very important. Just keep in mind, if the questionnaire, whatever I'm creating, CF100, this questionnaire has to be created. Sorry, if it has to be shown in the job requisition, then we have to select the recruiting option. And the questionnaire, whatever we are creating, where it's going to populate in the business process, you can select. I want to know better. As I said, there is a job application business process, right? There are some stages for that. See, I'll show you. Review is the review candidate. This is job review, is the screen. Review screening, assessing interview of a reference check, background check. Ready for hack. All those wherever you want this questionnaire to be populated. I'll show you. Just now I'm creating. We'll do one thing. We'll go to review and check this questionnaire whether we are able to get. I just want to show now only review and screening. You are going to add all the substages in the business process. That I want this questionnaire only to be populated only in screen processing. But at that time you can select only screen. Very important. This is at least for your knowledge, which I am telling. However, you can tell interviews also. I had implemented these things and also that interview might be. You can tell this point. When you go to do the revision, you can go through. Like this, I think today. Hamid is not in the class today. And it is not that. I'm just there. Whatever you created, see 100%. Again, we are going to. We've given for review as well, right? You might not. See here, configure the question. I'm going in the review stage of BP. Configure question. We'll see whether that questionnaire I was able to populate it. This is already, that has been created, right? You're just checking. I'll show you. What have we created, whether it will come on, and see here. It was able to populate it right. That's it. Like this, questionnaires will be configured. You might be asking, can you show me how this questionnaire will be populated in Job? We'll see. Maybe business process is designed, then I can show that also, because when I do something that maybe when we create a job requisition from first, maybe I'll try in this. If we have a job requisition, I'll show you. It might not. I don't think. Let me see. Are ready for breath and have my presentation. I didn't interview job recognition one time post job. We'll see if it has to be edited. We'll know anything. Just let me go from Morris. Some other notice. We'll see for this. Whether it's there any yesterday. Job recognition change. It's there. Job recognition change. It's there actually for this. The chat box is all the steps will do one thing. No, but we are on figuring. Maybe we'll try to do job recognition tomorrow. That time we were going to design all this. That will be good. Because if there is any mistake, it will not populate. That is the reason I want to show actually. Probably it will come again. We have to select the push. Any questions for Sheganda Lakuma? Nothing for now. After the session, I will practice it one more time. And if I have any questions, you can ask me multiple times also. No issues at the end. Just need to understand the concept. That it's easy for you to execute. Well, see, if you practice for 1 month. Anyway, now market will moving up. Maybe upcoming 1 month or 2 months. By the time you guys are learning everything, now it will be good actually. Tomorrow we'll see what we're going to do. Probably I'm thinking to extend job recognition. Before that, we will design possible create position. We'll just execute it. Then job recognition will design the BP. Like that, we'll design and we'll go. Slowly will go, but perfectly. But Vishnu, the job positions is usually they're created by the HCM, right? Positions will be created by HR partner or sometimes requisitions will be directors. This position will be created by HR partner. Correct. And which you ask, I'll give you some scenarios also, but not now. Once you guys are productive, like you are able to understand the concept, everything at the end moment. I'll give you some scenarios which you can do, those experimentation. Because when you understand and do everything, then if I say something, it will work. And those real time scenarios I'll give you, as you asked yesterday, as of now, nothing prepared. I'll give you maybe after 10-15 sessions. No worries. Maybe when you're going to take up in a Kakavati break, at least if you can give me 1 or 2 scenarios to work on. But when I explain those things, maybe later we have to go for a few more sessions. Today we are going for the topic job requisition. As you know, it is very much important in worker recruitment. We are going for this topic. A job requisition, as I said earlier previous sessions, is a request to search for and hire a resource. When you are creating job requisition, it's an interview question. What is the important thing? First we have to supervisory organization important. I'll show you. And at the same time, just I'll show you. See here at supervisory organization is important. And worker type should be employee or contingent workers. This is a question they might ask. But, however, we have to create the position first for position management, right? Staffing model. We have to create that. And prior to that, one more important thing. When you are going for the super, we have to set up the hiring restrictions. Just a minute, I'll show you a few BPs what I have done. I create position BTP hire. I created hiring restrictions. Also I created and job requisition also I created. Post job also I created. As I said, when we create job requisition, supervisory organization is important. At the same time, we have to create a job requisition. You have to set up hiring restrictions. You can explain from this time worker type, employee or contractor, right? You have to set up hiring restrictions. See, for this staffing model is position management, right? As I said, once supervisory organization is created, when we are creating the job requisitions, first and foremost thing, first, please set up hiring restrictions. You in interview also, if they ask you can explain from this step to till the end, whatever it happens. While giving this interview questions, I'll tell you how it needs to be done, that they will make those things organized. That it will go, around 10 minutes. The interviewer might be impressed. This tactic we have to apply. That's what I will do. Just we'll go to organization. Code. I know state hiring restrictions. It should come here. Let us start creating the positions. Stopping, we will go to create position first. We will create the name. We will use the same thing. Because to ensure nothing should go wrong. Because a lot of people are using the tenant right. We just wanted to use ours. Job posting that in the skins work the recruiting transfer company. We will use the same thing. That it will be good. Number of positions, we put 1 as it now. Hiring restrictions. Job profile, I just created one. I just kept everything. I mean job, family, not mandatory for us. In real time, as you know, suppose if it is, let's say example Java, family will be there. In that Java developers, UI development with Java, that combinations will be there, right? It will come like that job profiles. Different job profiles will be there. And you know this job profiles, it will be created by HCM team. And compensation team as well. No need to worry. Because once they create each and everything, it will populate actually. Here it may not populate, but however, in the real time, once a good job profile, everything, compensation, detail, everything will be populated. Move what it actually, and we just put no job restrictions. That it is it. That's it. We'll just submit it that the BP will trigger automatically. The B has triggered. We designed the business process right. I designed already. Hence the BP has triggered. I'm going to approve in behalf of Carolia. I just given this name only why? Because to get time also, it may take time, right? Because I'm also not very sure in this tenant because earlier it was Logan McNeil. When I give Prani, she wasn't a vice president something, but I'm not sure now. People are doing a lot of things in the tenant. Whether this security group will work or not. Hence I don't want to take risk because when we say something, that is the result. See, here we create the position. Now we are going actually to the create job requisitions. Now you will understand why we created the position. Our supervisory organization, as you know, work there. Skims this one, this organization. Once I give supervisor organization, it is asking, will you create a position or for existing position? Again, very important. See, automatically it is populating right. When I'm just giving, right. See here it skims Workday Recruitment Pencil. They are just giving it and clicking on it. Worker type would be employee. Not a, I would say. See, these are, when we create job requisition, these are fields actually in this every context. When once we give few details, it will go to again job skills, qualifications, organizations, attachment, compensation, assign roles, summary tab. These are the, sub things, which I'm going to do it right now. Just see here. See, we are going to select what is the reason. Maybe clear job requisition new position. We'll select this. And have you heard about Spotlight Job? If you enable this feature, the advantage is see a recruiter will be creating a lot of job requisitions, right? There will be a lot of job requisitions which has to be filled, but you never know which is on priority. If you click on this option, this will be like a high-end profile. This requisition is not filled from a long time. Probably the recruiter has to focus more on this requirement. I would say more. I would say we have to focus on close this position on priority, top priority. I would say for this, we enable this feature. And sometimes in implementation, we can disable this feature also. I will explain you how it should be disabled. Because we are going to create now, requisitions. Let us do that. Let us just do the spotlight job. And if it is any replacement for any position, it will last. It is not a mandatory field. Right now, it is not applicable. This is recruiting instruction tab. We can give instructions. You need to post this job only externally. And you can select this. Again, client will tell what needs to be done. This instruction they will give to the in real time. And when it comes to recruiting start date, see, recruiting start date is nothing, but we are going to start this job requisition and we are going to post this job requisition in the external career site. As I said, there will be career sites will be there, right? Like let us say, as I explained earlier, KPMG, career sites, all those things. We are going to post this tomorrow. I mean to say they will give particular date to that. Once we post this, it will take, for example, tomorrow onwards. It should be visible. Then we can select tomorrow's date. It will go and visible in this career site, optional career site. We will do it today because it will be handy, I feel. Target hire date. You know when the hiring date should happen. It takes right to fill the position. At the same time, once candidate is selected, hire BPs, these all the things will trigger right. Long it takes. We can give maybe a month. About something 9. Target end date not required actually. And referral payment plan. We were talking about referrals, right? These are the referrals. We can select again. Client will tell what referral we have to select. Promotional or standard. Now we are going to next tab. See, now we are going to job. You are asking, right? See, till now we are in recruiting information. Now we came to job. Now we are. Again, job posting title. It will take default because we already given right. Job profile. We are going to select this. Job profile. We are going to select this job profile. And once you give, what happens, automatically it will pop up all the job description, each and everything. Because in implementation, what happens, once you give job profile this HCM and compensation team, they will give each and every details regarding this. Few of them will be done from HCM and team. And few compensation details. All those will be done from compensation team. Once you give this job profile, everything will be populated automatically. But, however, we didn't do anything right. Right. Understood, right? Just we'll give a few points like this position. This position requires 2+, or else we'll give 2+. 2+ years of relearned experience. Experiencing Workday type of mix. And generate. And it should be functional. And it should be functional. Like this, we can give I'm just making it. We'll just go to and work a subtype as you move. It's citing the regular. Everything. It will only default only to take, but however full time. If you are joining in Bangalore for some organization called Accenture, there will be a lot of branches in Bangalore, right? Like Accenture, BTC, Accenture, I think some other tech part. They were exact location. This means primary job posting location. And linked to evergreen requisition. Those details and all will go through in the, maybe in evergreen. That I'll explain you a little later. Not because if I explain it will be confused. As of now, how we are going to create job requisitions. External data slice primarily. Yesterday we created CF100 questionnaire, right? We can populate this actually in the job requisitions. The questionnaire we created, we can here just populate here. Just I'm removing that. And when it comes to assessments and all what happens in real time, actually this assessments and all this, because those are evaluation of results, right? How much they score each and everything. Those tests and all it will be done from third-party people. And those test results they'll give it to integration team. And integration will directly pop up. We are not involving in that. For assessments actually, this is what in real time is happening for us. Just I'm telling. Now we are going to next tab in requisition. We are going to skills. We can give required skills, whatever. Everything. Actually, it should populate by the job profile. But however, you can just like by category, create, maintain skill. I'll just show you can go through. Something developer, something DevOps, something. Thank you. Let us remove that. Not required actually. But however, I just wanted to show that. And qualification, we can add education. Like maybe. This fears again, right. Language certifications and work experience, we can add. You can add here work experience. And competencies is nothing but wherever. If company is providing any internal training, all those things. We can add those competencies here. Not much important, this one. You can go through this just for your reference. Language certification work experience. Everything will be populated actually. But however, I just wanted to show you. That's it. Maybe 10 years something. 2 years. Like that, we'll give. We'll go to next step. See your company. It will take which company? D. Because we are creating job acquisition, right? Automatically it will populate. Again, we have to do it from beginning. We'll do one thing. We'll just go to the slides. As you are aware, this primary recruiter is nothing but to reduce the burden of actual recruiter. This we are gonna create this primary recruiter. I'll show you how we're gonna create this primary recruiter role. Meanwhile, I just wanted to show how we're gonna create primary recruiter. Maintain assignable roles. Maintain assignable roles. This is the primary recruiter. Again, we'll do one thing. Primary recruiter. Just to make sure it's our safety purpose because, as I said, it's misstep. What do we have to do here? We enable it for a super actually. But here what we are doing, this primary recruiter role is for job requisition level. That's it, very simple. I don't view, not assign. This is not like leader or supporting. None of the we can just and secure. That's what. However, here it will not go actually. It's done directly. Just primary recruiter skins. We are making it at job requisition. Now I'm just coming to your point. You said me create security group, right? Now that task will come into picture actually. Create security group. This is what kind of security group? Basically, it's a constraint. And we created primary recruiter. Just to make sure. And this I created HR partner skins. Manager skins. Compensation partner skins. And recruiter skins. You can use while you're practicing. It will populate actually. Because I have done those. I'm just going for those DP edit policies and all. I configured actually. You'll also get that same option. In case, if you want, you can add the security groups. It will work. Yes. See, I'll show you whatever I created. See here. Manager skin. Compensation partner HR partners. We're going to select primary recruiter. Just we'll click on. For existing position, again it will come default. See here, I didn't give anything. Once I click the You Know drop down, it is just taking it down. An employee, it is for an employee. And we'll just keep on looking. Now we'll do it a little fastly. Because once it is again, the problem happens. Whatever the efforts we will put, again time will be wasted. How I want to hide spotlight job and assign roles here. See here. We can. We can hide this assign roles option. I'll show you later. I don't want to confuse you right now. Let us go normal way. Create new position. New position. Something requesting additional staff will give. And it's just a spotlight job. And recruiting instruction. Now we just send the post-it external only. Target type. 1 from today. Referral plan may be standard. We'll select standard. We'll click next. See job posting title. You notice one thing. Job posting title automatically it is taking why? It's a position management, right? We are done everything. We created the position in supervisory organization. We went there and we created the position, right? It is taking that position. If it is job management, we have to give that position. Like we have to give that name again. It is departed. I'm telling default. It is taking that option. That's what I mean. And drop the switch. Simply will give. We don't have much time to cover. That's it, I hope. We'll just skip this step. We have to do this. Once we create, then we'll get to know. See company cost center region. These are the mandatory fields. This, we will not get actually options. I don't know why it is coming in this tenant in real time. This other road share. No, will not get this option actually. We can attach any document, any further information regarding job or job requisitions or something Maybe terms and conditions or something. We can attach the documents here. Now again one important thing. This compensation field also. We can unhide this option. 3 things I'm gonna tell you, but right now we'll just go accordingly. See, usually what happens, as I said in the job profile itself of compensation team, it should populate everything once we give job profile. That is what it is. Here it is not coming. But however, these are all the details. It should be. We'll just go to next step. We will never fill this period. Salary nothing. We don't want to do. As a recruitment team, we will not fill all those things. Everything it will take default. It will take default by the job profile. Assign role options. See here assign role options. Now we are going to add What is the role we created? What is our name? We created that role. It is populated here, right? We're going to assign it to some recruiters. Maybe we will assign to Carly only because it's easy. It is a time and all. Probably this one. We'll assign it same thing. I'm just giving the next option. It's just a summary. We'll just click it. We'll see if we'll get any errors. I'm sure we might get a couple of errors. Compensation package. Because we didn't, we had to do actually. That we can do this payment. Because we created right. I created everything. Again, you see compensation package. Let's see if we'll get any errors. One more error. Region is picked by. Where is that? Actually, you know what happens in real time? He was just, here we'll get business unit. All the things will come. Does it? I think that is not populating, I feel. I don't know. I didn't create any region. Whatever it's there, we'll just do it. Something will be. I'm doing another. I will do another thing. We'll give one left. I'm not sure. Again, we might get some errors in this tenant. Since I created what happened, it is going to review create job requisition. BP has actually triggered. Now I'm approving this job requisition. Don't worry if you want, I can guide you those P steps also. As if now we'll just approve it. I have created everything because when I'm showing, everything should be triggering. Right. That it will be good. I think unassigned task will be good. See here, job requisition is there. We go under that. Usually it should not come what you asked. Correct? Doubt only. That's right, doubt. But however, the position has been created. Effective job requisition. Requisition is created. I wanted to show. Let me go to the slide. This configure option, please. How to hide or unhide this? I want to show this spotlight. We'll select job requisition. See, here I'm selecting job requisition. These are, implementation actually. What happens here, Ideally, see, this is spotlight job. If we include this hide for all, or we can just remove it also. We'll say hide for all. We'll give and we'll see what happens. And hidden. See, we can if it is. We can hide it for particular security groups also. You want to give XHR partner. We can hide this for the security group. And if it is required also, we'll get some like hide for all. We can give in and we'll see whether it will work. I think it should work. Find I feel remote type. Spotlight. We'll hide it and we'll see. Hmm. I think I was. We didn't create any position. We don't have any position right now. I think probably it will not come. See, you see. There is no, right? Maybe we have to create a position. We'll do one thing. We'll create a position now. Here also we can create. Are you able to see a spotlight job? We'll go to next job if you want. The see spotlight feature is not there, right? Got it. Got it. Sometimes client might ask if you hide or unhide. Again, it depends on client. In real time, see, we actually what happens client when we are doing implementation. It's not there. If you have a question on that planning phase itself for the job requisites and all, he will actually whether this has to be involved or because if it is any critical requirements, only right. He will ask to increase the efficiency. It might be open from a long time, or maybe the recruiter has to focus more on this to get it close, or we have to take it on top priority. That is the reason you know it happens actually. Enable the spotlight. We will get it from like. We will get it to the ticket itself. Whether it has to be enabled only for one requirement. It has to be enabled, then it will come as a ticket. And it's easy, also immediately we can do that. It will be in a form of a ticket because for particular requisition, we have to end up with it. Got it? It happens like this. And now we were able to, we will just cancel it. We were discussing, when we are creating the job requisitions, how to hide that assigned role option. Because, see, under the assigned role option, we are assigning their primary recruiter right. You've seen right. That total tab can be hidden. How you know? I'll tell you. We can use this process, the template. We can give this task. Job requisition. We can give this task. We are doing this task for to hide the assigned role option. And we can hide that compensation. See, sometimes client might not be interested to show the compensation tab there. We can hide that. Again, it depends. While doing the implementation client, I don't want this compensation to be coming in this filter. Assigned roles, few of them, they'll ask assigned roles has to be enabled because primary recruiter, right? Because see, normal recruiter, he'll be doing each and every activity. But primary recruiter is a recruiter and he has to deliver the job applications. View business process template. Business process type job requisition. You are going. Please come to this tab, job requisition. And business process. Configure consolidated template. Job requisition. Now you will understand. See here, I am going to delete this assign roles option. Let's see what happens. This is the implementation phase also. We'll see what happens. If it works, then I just wanted to show that, that's it. Create job requisition. Play create position. New position. Again. I think new position. You have to click over. We were not able to see. What I'll do, I'll go once again. I'll disable this. You enable it. We'll do that. We'll go here job requisitions. Don't go to business process type. Go to business process, configure consolidated template. We'll click and I will remove this also. We are job requisition. There is no option for compensation. Both of them, you can enable it. That first step, when you are enabling your compensation. And second step, at last step, you give assign rules. See, when I'm telling, only you are able to relate and you're able to understand. I can make words. This is what how it happens. Let's go to the recipe. Now I'll give you the prerequisites, what you have to do. From beginning, I'll tell you do all the head sim activities you know, right? Compensation package. Compensation trades everything, whatever you do it everything, but don't hire anybody. See if you want any help. I'll show you on BP. That tomorrow, if you have any problem, you can configure. Especially, job requisition BP is important. Sometimes in an interview what are the steps will be used in job requisition. You can tell review, create job requisition, create position requisition compensation. You see this requisition compensation just now, we unhide it. We hide it, hide it, right? Right. Assigned rows also we hide it. You understand that logic and we keep it in your mind while presenting to the interviewer. And you have these steps you can just remember in your mind and even present. That we can impress the interviewer. 2 steps. I'll tell you. One is business process policy. Edit you give. You can create your own something, name XYZ, something you create, whatever. See, here you can add the group. See, I added. Just I'll show you whether I added or not. We'll get our API for the course. For review, I think create job requisition, it will not come. Review, wait, let us RP. I'll show you and let it see. Job requisition. Whenever you face any challenges, tomorrow you might face challenges. No, but it's easy. 2 ways. I'll tell you. This see here. Review, create job requisition. How I went and configured the security group. Review, create job requisition. Review, create job requisition. Review. See here. Error partner skins, right? You are able to see, right? See here. Error partner skins. You do that. In case for primary recruiter and all, how you gonna do? Just I'm canceling it. For the same steps, you want to assign any primary recruiter this kind of compensation partner, anything you want to do, go to business process, set security to your policy per functional area. You give this task. It will last for functional area. Please understand. Till now you are doing for staffing. Like I mean to say HCM. Now we're gonna do for recruiting. Which BP you are configuring right now? Recruiting. Business process. Job requisition. Primary recruiter. Job requisition is correct. What you said. See, whenever you face any problem, when you are configuring business processes, just simple logic, which functional area you are fixing. The area recruiting, right? Recruiting. We are going to do everything for recruiting. Which business process you are facing? Job requisition. It might be for create position also. See, now I'm going for job requisition. You go here. See, you debug a few things. I might tell a few things, but when you go and debug and do the research, you know you will never forget for your lifetime. See here. Assign roles, right? Assign roles. There is a step called assign roles here. Shisha Kontala. Just a moment. I'll show you. Assign roles. HR partner schemes, right? How I'll go to assign roles. See, this I'll pull this down. Alright? It happens. We should be having a lot of patience even. Sometimes, it happens, especially when I'm teaching a lot of times. It happened everything for 10-15 minutes. I'll teach. But sometimes it happened multiple times for me, I would say. Finally, again, we came to the same page. See here. Job requisition. Assign role. Again, edit permission. Under assign roles. I'm just clicking this. My tool. And that you have to do. The challenge. Not this. Not this. Here you will be confused. That's why I'm telling you. There is a step actually for evergreen requisition. I guess this one only. We'll test it out. S. A darkness. See, ADA partners is coming. Use that security group. Go to activate pending security policy changes and activate it. Then only it will populate. Functional areas recruiting. Business process should be selected. Suppose today you are debugging it for job requisition. I might ask you, please go and debug for. No, you need. Create position. Business process security policy. Functional area. Are you here? Recruiting. Create position business process. Excellent. That is what you understood the logic now. Whatever, you can just check and create position task. We are just included only one step, probably. For this, you can go. If there is any change, I don't think only one step executed. Edit permission, and we can. You need to search. You are able to face any challenges. Sometimes we will not be able to fix some security issues. We take help from security. Few of them. Everything we may not be able to do. What happens? There is a separate integration thing. This is a kind of implementation. When we create supervisor organization, when we create this, what do we say? All those things. When you try to debug this, we will be able to understand a lot of more things. And you feel happy also. Sometimes, when a security group is not populating, when you are able to find those issues, what happens? You feel happy, right? Sometimes we get that satisfaction actually. We were discussing set up job requisitions for recruiting, spotlight jobs, how to enable, disable. As you know, primary recruiter. We created that role-based security groups. This is not required. This fine. This is also not. Reflect. Because I don't want to make you learning everything that you guys will be confused. As you know, we were discussing on the time to fill report, right? What happens? We were not able to. I was unable to show that in the tenant, right? This too. Fill report is nothing. We can just calculate the efficiency of the recruiter. We can pull a report. How much time? Turnaround time. He has to. How many? He has done. All those things. We actually get it. But here may not be possible. However, some screenshots. He has shared something. Fit or James. Common quote is something. He has shared kind of profiles. We can pull it, few reports. People will help you actually in case you face any challenges. Reporting team will be there. We can take help and advanced reports and similar kind of thing. We can cook those things and we can pull the report. It won't be much tough and all. We just, how many are shared to all those things. Nobody will ask you in the interview questions. And I never been asked also. Just for your information. And it's not much required also. Your work may not be on that part. Your work might be in a different current project. I'm not doing this task. That is what. This is not required. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel.